No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols.
Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. We've got a two-gamer coming at you from the LPL in China. Everyone expects E-Star to dominate Dominus, but 3 minutes into the game, we have a fight break out in the river over Rift Scuttle. Nidalee escapes, and E-Star turns. Thresh sees Lucian, flashes and goes for a hook, but he misses. How anticlimactic. But a fight breaks out, and E-Star is being pincered from both sides, and Echo dies first. DMO continues their chase into the bot lane. Zilean flashes, throws a bomb on the set, and it lands. He will die. Lucian barely sneaks out, and Thresh dies. A triple kill on the side of Dominus, and they're off to an early lead, looking to destroy everyone's DraftKings lineups. Nidalee and Zilean must be killjoys because they're looking to kill the fun in the mid lane. He flashes in and ults out stylishly, but E-Star is down 2,000 gold. For some reason, they're feeling confident and think they can look for a fight as Nidalee runs down the river towards bot lane. Thresh sneaks into the bush and is looking for Nidalee. Lands a hook. The TP comes in. But the Zilean ult saves Nidalee's life. For now. She pounces onto Ezreal and secures the first kill in the trade. Before being taken down by Echo, who dies to Lucian. Thresh runs but is murdered in cold blood by Zilean. Dominus is up 6-2 with a 3k gold lead. And the action picks up again with Dominus still up 6-3. Thresh goes down first, but the Monkey King is spinning to win on the back line. Set ults in, and Zilean dies. Before Set is finished off by Nidalee. E-Star is chasing down Jax in the jungle. Yuumi dies, and Dominus overstays. Nidalee dies as well! Jax is taken down by Ezreal, and now Wukong is trying to take out Lucian, while the rest of his team takes Dragon. Come on, Lucian, let me help her, you die! Let me help her, you! Come on, Xiao, bye-bye! Dominus is set up on another Drake, and managed to save Dragon Soul. They try to take out Thresh on the back end, but he stopwatches and shortly dies after. Jax is low but is saved by Zilean ult, and as Wukong finally arrives, the fight turns with a 3-man knockup. Jax dies once again, but Ezreal and Wukong are too big, chasing down Dominus, acing them in the team fight, and ending the game with the long death timers. E-Star with a great comeback in Game 1. Game 2 starts off slowly, but trading in the bot lane goes E-Star's way, setting up a dive opportunity in the bot lane early in the game. Graves goes in early, and Dominus manages to sneak away from the turret momentarily before Trundle shows up. They're confident they can win this as a 3v3. So Set goes in, and with the 3-man E, he gets flayed away. The cone traps in E-Star, but it's Dominus who is trapped. Thresh dies first. But Trundle and Set are both going down. The reinforcements arrive as Kassadin and Azir join the fray. Kassadin picks up a kill on Senna, and Azir kills Aphelios. Overall, it's a 3-for-3, but we all know what happens when you give a kill to Cass. At the 8-minute mark, both teams set up around Rift. There's a TP and Orn ults in, but is turned on expertly by E-Star, quickly taking out the Ram God. Now E-Star has the inside position on Rift, but Xiaoxi sees that Senna is out of position, hooking her. Azir ults away, but it's too late. The fight is won by E-Star. After an easy ace, Kassadin is snowballing hard. There's no way they lose this one. After building up their lead, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun sneaks into a side bush and hunts down Azir. Set intervenes, but he's next on the list. Running into his base, but not even the tower can stop the Fun as he secures a triple kill all on his own. E-Star sweeps Dominus in dominant fashion. Next up, we have Invictus Gaming and World Elite. It's a gangbang in the bot lane. Xiaomeng dies, but goes 1 for 1, taking out the Shy. Be very quiet. Invictus Gaming is hunting down World Elite in the mid lane, but fails to pick off Olaf. Ashe ults in, but World Elite turns as Thresh engages and Ornn flanks with his ultimate. Rookie flashes over the wall, but it proves to be a rookie mistake after he dies anyways. World Elite turns, looking to Baron, but Invictus Gaming takes mid-priority and postures for a fight. They aren't afraid of a 4v5, but maybe they should be. Thresh says, "Don't be so the Shy," hooking Aatrox and eliminating him quickly before also taking out Graves. Be very quiet. World Elite is on the hunt now. Invictus Gaming had just taken Mountain Soul and turns onto World Elite in the mid lane. The Shy is here, and Ashe lands her arrow on Rumble, but he gets lanterned out, flashes over the wall and ults into the backline, but there is no follow-up damage to be found. With a one-man advantage, the call is for World Elite to turn onto Baron. Invictus Gaming never says die, but maybe they should because the Shy dies again. Puff must be Puff passing the Magic Dragon if he thinks they're winning this team fight. Syndra goes down and Ashe retreats to her tower, but Ornn ult is coming back up. She stopwatches, but Set is hooked. And he's gonna go down to Aphelios. A normal team would forfeit, but Invictus Gaming is a glutton for punishment. World Elite finds IG in the mid lane, but Set ults before Ornn can connect with his ultimate. Ashe flashes out in a puff of smoke as Invictus Gaming's chances go up in smoke. Southwind is dust in the wind, and the Shy has died. World Elite walks away wounded towards Baron. Invictus Gaming knows their chances to win are slim and decide to make a gambit. World Elite is on Baron, but they're headed towards Elder Dragon. Graves is sent over to the Baron pit for a steal. And Thresh realizes that Invictus Gaming is on Elder Dragon. It's now up to Graves. He eases in, starts damaging Baron, but is unable to take it down. Olaf dies, but at what cost? Invictus Gaming is pushed off of the Elder Dragon, and this surely spells defeat for Invictus Gaming. Elder Dragon and Baron on the side of World Elite, and Ashe is going to die once again at the hands of the Ram God. Game 2 is looking good for Invictus Gaming after killing Aphelios in the mid lane. But Corki is traded back. IG isn't done though and kills Galio, giving them a free mid-turret. Aatrox has Rift Herald in bot lane, so nothing surely could go wrong. Invictus Gaming is headed towards Dragon. But Aatrox dies to the tower and Ornn. Invictus Gaming is still on the Dragon, and World Elite begins to collapse. Ning is taking too much damage. But the call is to go back in. After stopwatching, Ezreal is unable to take out Graves and is ulted by Ornn. And Aphelios shows up just in time to finish off Ezreal, Yuumi, before securing Dragon. Invictus Gaming is down 10-4 in kills, but they have a 2.5k gold lead. Ezreal must have been puff passing again because his reaction time is trash. He's flash taunted by Galio and Invictus Gaming loses 3 members instantly. They start on the Baron, but the Shy and Rookie are in hot pursuit. Morgan is almost caught out but survives. And they stay on Baron. The Shy and Rookie walking up as World Elite clumps and Corki gets off some AoE damage. But the Shy goes in too deep and needs to flash out of the Baron pit. Graves secures Baron before the Shy dies. And that spells disaster for Invictus Gaming, giving up their entire gold lead and Dragon Soul at the same time. That's all she wrote, as World Elite sweeps Invictus Gaming for an upset victory.
Alright, what's up everybody? Hope you enjoyed the highlights. Invictus Gaming is an enigma, but that will eventually be a good thing for us. So, we had E-Star against Dominus. E-Star was minus 476. Dominus was plus 325. I picked E-Star. E-Star won. Invictus Gaming minus 213 against World Elite at 160. I picked Invictus Gaming. I didn't think there was any value on the Invictus Gaming side, and they lost. Not much more to say about that one. Let me get the odds for tonight's game. Let me get the rosters. We have 2 matches that are not looking like the closest. I'll tell you that much. Mr. Malmanger with the lineups. Not sure where he got them from, but it is FPX against BLG. So we have Khan, Tian, Doonby, LWX, and Crisp. And then we have Kingen, Best 16, Fofo, Wings, and Shinmo. Not sure how to pronounce it. Last time out, FPX lost. I don't expect them to lose again. But, you know, you got to make your own decision on that one. Then RNG against LNG. RNG, we have New, XLB, Xiaohu, Betty, Ming against Chen117, XX, Maple, Light, and Duan. So I definitely like FPX, and I definitely like RNG. Might be a boring... Might be a... Might be a boring day in terms of like lineup construction and stuff like that. We will have to see. Let's get the odds. The good thing is tomorrow we have a bunch of tournaments anyways, so we don't necessarily need this LPL slate to be interesting and difficult and all that good stuff. So RNG is in the first match. They are minus 556 against LNG, who is plus 366. I definitely like the RNG side. I will not be betting $500 to win $100. No value. That looks like a win to me. FPX minus 526 against BLG, which is minus plus 345. I like FPX. Not betting on that. No value. But let's take a look at the DraftKings contests, and then we'll get into LEC real quick. Upcoming. So LPL. We have RNG is the most expensive team. FPX, Billy Gaming, LNG. RNG, FPX, FPX, RNG, FPX, RNG, FPX, RNG, RNG, FPX. So yeah, I mean this is not interesting to me at all. You're just gonna have to rotate a bunch of stacks. I would assume that this is gonna be a very difficult night for double AD carry or double mid laner. I would just assume that they're not gonna let that be duplicated like 300 times because no one thinks the underdogs have a chance in this game. So let's take a look at LEC quickly. Alright, so this is the $400,000 League of Legends Online Championship, $100,000 to first place, plus a Tournament of Champions entry. So I won one ticket. I'm going to try to get a couple more tickets before tomorrow, and I may enter a few more times, even if I don't get any more tickets from like qualifiers and stuff like that. It's always fun to have a chance at one of those big paydays, so you kind of just have to go for it, in my opinion. So let's go game by game. I'll try to get up the money lines real quick. So I did start an LEC sheet. So this is for week 1. So let's see if anything has changed. We have the first game is G2 against Mad. G2 is an extremely heavy favorite. Betting against G2 is very scary. This is a best of 1, so Mad Lions can take a game off of G2. That's a good way to get leverage on the field, but you know it's gonna be pretty tough. So G2 is the most expensive player in every position, but they're not the most expensive team. You're not going to get a huge difference by picking between teams, so the team slot tomorrow will be a good place to get some salary savings if you find a less expensive team that you like, or even an underdog that you like. So Mad Lions is the 3rd least expensive, 4th least expensive, 3rd least expensive, 4th least expensive. So they're priced as one of the lowest teams, and they should be because their chances of winning are less than 50%. Right now it's at 30%. So actually they might be a good value bet in real life. I'd say it's probably 60-40 or 65-30. It's probably 60-40, 65-35, right around there. I do think that Mad Lions is able to take games off of G2. If you were paying attention to Twitter the other day, Perks, his father passed away recently from cancer, I believe, and he had to like go home and deal with that, and then he's coming back on Friday for the game. So I think that he's playing. but I'm honestly not 100% sure how that's going to end up. I don't think that's going to take a lot out of him. Obviously, it's going to take a lot out of him. It's horrible to lose a parent. But in terms of League of Legends, I think that's going to be like a way for him to escape and kind of just enjoy himself and play a game with his teammates and his friends. And I think that he'll still be playing well and want to win. But it's tough to say. You can't be certain about it either way. Game 2, Vitality against SO4. Actually, so I'll do... yeah, that's basically it. There's not much else to say about that game. G2 is more likely to win, so you will want to consider them as your primary stack or your secondary stack. The problem... They're not in here. The problem is that they're going to be extremely highly owned. So game 2, Vitality against Schalke. Schalke is a minus 182 favorite over Vitality. Vitality is considered one of the worst teams in the league, and I think for good reason. In the top lane, Adewamne against Cabochard. I think Adewamne is better. Lurox against NJI. Lurox is better. Abadage versus Militza. Abadage is better. Not sure who's starting in the 80 carry position. I would assume it's Inox. He is better than Comp. And then nukes a lot, and whoever supports for the other team doesn't really matter for fantasy. Because they're going to be attached to the upside of their carries. So I do like the Schalke side. I will not be using Vitality. I think that no one's going to use Vitality. So maybe that is a good way for them to... maybe that is a good way to get leverage off the field. But the chances of them actually winning seems extremely low. So I will not be playing them. So far we have G2 as the probable winner and Schalke as the probable winner. Origin against SK. Alfari is better than Genax. Xerxes is better than Trick. Zookduck's better than Zazy. Upset's better than Crownshot. Destiny's better than Limit. Everyone's going to be on the OG side in this one as well. So I would expect single-digit ownership for SK, single-digit ownership for Vitality. Rogue against XL. This might actually be an interesting one. I think Rogue is going to be the favorite. Rogue is minus 234. Okay, let's see if that line moved. Nope, stayed about the same. So Rogue against XL. Finn versus Kryze. I don't know anything about Kryze. Finn's okay. He's not great. Inspired against Cadril. I don't have a big preference for one of those players. Larson against Special. Don't have a huge preference for either of those players, but I would assume that Larson is better than Special. Hansama against Patrick. Both of them played well last season in their games that they won. And then Vander and Torre. So, again, they both played well in victories. I don't think either of them is going to be the difference maker in this game unless they set up like a game-winning engage or something like that, which is more impactful for real-life League of Legends or a real-life bet as opposed to DraftKings. And then we have Misfits against Fnatic. So, Bwipo against Dandan. Bwipo is better, but Dandan has played well in the past. Selfmade against Razork. Same thing. I think they're both good players. You have to give the advantage to Fnatic, but Misfits definitely has chances to win. So Fnatic is a 73% favorite, minus 272. I think that this game is definitely closer than that. Nemesis against Fabiven. Fabiven used to play for Fnatic before he went on his journey to North America and then eventually came back to Europe. I think that Nemesis and Fabiven are most likely close in terms of skill level. Nemesis is a much younger player, I believe, and has a decent number of fans. So I think that he's probably a little overrated. Fabiven's probably a little underrated at this point. Reckless against Kabe. This is basically even. Reckless has been doing it for a long time, but Kabe was considered, I think, the best, or one of the three best before he went to North America. And then Hillsong against Denik. I think Hillesong's probably just a better player than Denick. But I think this is going to be a very close match. So based off of popularity and the money lines and everything like that, I think G2, Schalke, Origin, Rogue, and Fnatic are all going to be they're all going to have a decent amount of ownership because they are all projected to win. Madline, in terms of underdogs, no one's going to play Vitality. No one's going to play SK. Maybe some people play XL. But Mad Lions and Misfits are going to be the most popular underdog teams by far. And I think that's because they do have realistic chances of winning these games. I would assume Misfits is the highest owned underdog. For sure. I could see Misfits winning. Because, I mean, it's listed as 70-30. So, in terms of real-life betting, I mean, maybe this is an interesting slate. So, these are the picks that I made last time. Rogue, Misfits, Origin, G2, Schalke. Maybe a bet on Misfits, maybe a bet on G2. Did that change? No. Vitality against Schalke. All these numbers stayed about the same. Origin is now a minus 715 favorite. Rogue, about the same. Yeah, so that line is the one that's moved the most. I don't think that DraftKings players are going to like Origin because they are not traditionally one of the highest scoring teams. I really do think that we're going to see a high concentration on G2 and Fnatic, Mad Lions, and Misfits regardless. I think Schalke is an interesting team to try to get exposure to. In the first game of the series, in the first game of the season, it's tough to say how bloody these games are going to be. Tough to say. I honestly don't know. I would assume that Origin against SK is the lowest scoring game of the day because Origin likes to play a slower style and SK also likes to play a slower style. So that's probably one to avoid. I think most players are going to avoid these two teams because last season, even when Origin was winning, they didn't score a ton of points. So I wonder if the fantasy points are impacted by these other games. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so these are all inflated because they made the playoffs. That shouldn't change much. And as per usual, like winning chances is what we're really after because that's how you're going to decide which two teams you stack, and then once you know which teams you're stacking, that's how you kind of decide what players and lineup constructions are going to work based off salary and matchups and stuff like that. So SO4 should win. But they're between second and fourth in terms of how much they cost in most spots. Rogue, maybe there's some value on Rogue players. Tough to say. I'm not sure how much I'm going to play on this slate outside of the big tournament, but this is a good kind of slate to build a lot of lineups. Like I'll definitely do the 20 entry max, and that's where I'll get a lot of my exposure to all these teams. But I think that most players in the 555 are going to be very conservative with how they build their lineups. Projecting upsets is important, and I think that's why Misfits is going to be... Misfits will probably be shockingly owned. Maybe that's the play. Maybe the last game is going to be the most important one. Basically, the way that I see it is Game 1 and Game 5 are going to have the most ownership, and for good reason. G2 and Fnatic are the teams that score the most in general. They're the ones who win the most in general. Well, Origin wins almost just as much as Fnatic, but like they are lower kill score in general. So if you want to pivot based off of winning chances, you can go to Origin. But in order for Origin to be the highest scoring team on the slate, you'll probably need either G2 or Fnatic to underperform in a victory. That's really how I would see that going. Mad Lions against G2, those games were pretty bloody in the playoffs. And then Misfits is a completely new team. I think the addition of Kabe is going to attract a lot of players to that team in real life. I don't know if that's going to translate to DraftKings. I don't think most people are familiar enough with Kabe to kind of understand what he brings to the team. But in terms of underdogs, they're probably the most realistic to win. Like, I know that Vitality is listed at plus 135, but I don't think there's any way that Vitality beats SO4. That's pretty surprising. Yeah, so that might attract some people to bet on them on DraftKings, but I think that's a mistake. Schalke has won people tournaments before. Origin against SK Gaming, Rogue against XL. So this is a big question mark game, and this is a big question mark game. We kind of know what's going to happen in Game 1 and Game 5. They're going to be highly owned. So you really need Schalke to go crazy or this game to be an upset if you're not going to be on Game 1 and Game 5. I think we'll see a lot of people pick Mad to get leverage off of G2. So it'll be probably Mad lineups that have Fnatic included. You'll see G2 with Misfits. You'll see some people probably going off of Schalke victory or a Rogue victory. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of people picking XL. That's tough, though. It's so tough, this being on the first day of the European season without having anything else. So before you start really spending too much time looking at these matchups and these players specifically, I would suggest looking at how much money you're going to have on this slate and figuring out what you want your portfolio to look like, because I'm going to have at least one entry in this. Obviously, I have a ticket, and I'm going to do the 20 entries for the Elder Dragon. But I don't know if I want to put much more money into this contest or like the $15 or anything like that, because you got to be smart with your bankroll, even though this is an opportunity to win like life-changing money. So yeah, it's tough. I don't have many more opinions on everything right now. I need to get this video out. If you have some questions for me, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I have a lot of stuff I have to get done today, so I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to respond to every question like I normally do. But you got to remember, I'm playing DraftKings too, and this is a pretty important day. So I'll do my best, but that's all I can really do. So thanks for watching. Make sure that if you want to get a line put into like Esportscenter or whatever, follow me on Twitter. Leave a comment in YouTube. You can join Patreon and put it in the Discord chat. But that's all I got, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully that video will be out before. Hopefully the Esportscenter video will be out before LEC. And if I have more information about LEC, I'll post it at that time. All right. See ya.
No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items.
Pike on money, pike on money, pike on money. We making pike on money. Payday, about to throw a rack on China. Need some DFS advice, where can I find some? League of Items got the sheet with all the lineups and all the stacks that you need to get to diamond. League of Items!
Getting gold, that's the goal. Keep on winning on a roll. Kill 4 dragons, got soul. Now you got nowhere to go. Teleporting top to bot. Dive your carry on the spot. That's an ace. Wreck your base. Wear my crown. We on top.